a great weekend to look forward to all the time because Scorecard is on Channel 1 TV. Now, in the English Premier League, things are always interesting. Arsenal Football Club are beginning to look a lot more like champions. Liverpool got a mini respite. What does that mean? Are they back on track? Is this a fluke? Has Arne Slot gotten his act together? Man United also were in a scrap with Nottingham Forest. We'll get into that. Chelsea needed a smash and grab to get away from a tight London derby. And then when you go to other leagues, a lot of interesting scores involving Real Madrid, Barcelona, Napoli, AC Milan, and the like. So there's a lot to chew on as far as today's show is concerned. Namely, still looking like Gareth Southgate in the studio. Week 3, he's still doing his waistcoat three-piece business. The suit is not here, but the waistcoat and the combination is on fleek this evening. So I'll be giving you a sneak peek of that in a bit. Let's do a quick turnaround. When I come back, I'll introduce my two good friends in the studio, and then we'll get today's show going. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Channel 1 TV. Like I told you, he's back in the building. It's a hat trick of waistcoats and...
The way you are behaving,
no, my
I
brother.
think I have to stop. I told you I want to do 15 straight.
Charlie, no, you see, I told you that you see, maybe I need to come to you for some financial help because if you are doing 15 straight suits, no, it's only billionaires who have 15 suits.
No, I'm from a suit family. That's
Hey,
why.
Charlie, we need Sunday there.
My
What
uncle,
kind of pressure is this?
No, my uncle, within the family, internally, that's what they do for a living. And they've been doing this before some of us were born.
Hey, Charlie.
So all you need to do is to show yourself, pick a material, and it is done.
Nah, see, this is some hard flex, but we'll come back to this.
I won't do it again. I told you last week, I wanted to do 15
you can't
straight.
stop. You've done
No,
only
I'll
3.
stop.
No, you can't do that.
No.
You can't. You
The way the guy is,
don't introduce us.
on me.
Don't introduce us to something you can't finish. You have introduced us. You have to finish it.
I
Please.
told you I would do, but the way you are...
12 to go.
Oh, don't worry.
Said you welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Unai Emery, a.k.a. Sedinam Edmond. It's okay. I like your Aston Villa.
Thank you.
I like it. But please don't stop. I'm sure you'll be getting a lot of fans today. Global fans too. So,
So I did blue
Yeah.
and I did dark blue. This is brown.
Yeah.
I'll do black. I'll do
Charlie.
ash. I'll do
Charlie.
green. I'll do...
don't
I have all the colors. But I'll
Solid
stop.
lineup.
From the way you are doing it, I have stopped. They want to put pressure on me, so I've stopped.
No, see, you're a heavy guy.
Coach, you see the way the guy said he would not cut his hair till United went on a
Yeah.
5-match winning streak.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Now there's a draw, so the hair remains
No,
on top.
until you lose.
And
Until
that's
you
what-
lose a game, you need to keep going.
Then I can go for the rest of the season. Because I don't want my team to lose.
Oh, my
If doing
goodness.
this, I can do 38 straight.
Oh my goodness. See, you heard it here first. Well, let's get into the show. The text and WhatsApp lines will be on your screens. Lots to talk about today. Let's start off this one with a big game. It was a London derby between Chelsea and Spurs, or Spurs and Chelsea, since they were the home side. I anticipated a tough game. That's exactly what it was. In the end, Chelsea had enough to just nick it. Let's get the highlights. The Jamie Gittins miss has everybody just shook in the studio.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a wow moment for me too. I can't believe.
No, but how did that game end 1-0?
Yeah.
This is extremely shocking because look, even on the highlight we've just witnessed, Chelsea should have been out of sight.
Yep. In fact, on that note you are bringing, that's where I want to start my conversation from. I think there's a lack of finishing at Chelsea, and there's a lack of quality finishing at Spurs as well.
Yes.
Just address that for me real quick. I mean, were you shocked that Spurs lost this game at home? And for Chelsea, how long or how much longer can they continue to persist with not having a prolific forward going deeper into the season?
I think I wouldn't say I was shocked that Spurs lost because how many times have we not seen Chelsea go to the White Hart Lane? Even when Spurs are in a very good form, they eventually find a way to win it. And so there's that tension between the two teams such that in recent times, when Spurs came so close to winning the league, Chelsea made sure, during the days of Eden Hazard and co, Chelsea made sure that would just not happen. But having said that, I think it will come down to Chelsea's inability to have that prolific striker that will give them 20 plus goals. Look, how many goals has Haaland scored so far? Erling Haaland. He's just banging in the goals.
Yep.
I'm the same person who is very worried that Man City is overly reliant on him. What happens to the team the moment he's injured? You want to get everybody involved in the goal scoring duty. But on the part of Chelsea, until yesterday, João Pedro had gone 2 months without even hitting a shot on target. Now, they must be Chelsea will be thanking their stars to get a player or their striker who hadn't scored in 2 months, scored the only goal to have won them
Big
this
relief
game.
for everybody.
Big relief, because that tells you that if João Pedro had visited his previous 2 months' performances, then Chelsea would have drawn this game.
Yep, 2 points drop.
If you are Maresca, you should look at this and say, goodness me, could they go back in general? Maybe the lab will solve that problem. But he himself, what record that he puts on the table? He doesn't, he's only one proper season with Ipswich that got relegated. I think he scored between 12 to 13 goals. So most people are hoping that if he could score that number of goals with a team that got relegated, once he's in the Chelsea fold, but even when he's fit, I don't think he's the number one choice in this team because of the way the manager wants his teams to play. Chelsea is more of a 4-3-3 system. He will not sacrifice any of the midfielders. And he wants a one striker with the 2 wide men helping the striker to score. Again, they will have to address that lack of goals in their team. Pedro Neto, I believe he's been overly selfish. Alejandro Garnacho, similar. Am I surprised he's doing that? No, it's within him. He needs to be coached to stop doing those things. But I cannot end if I don't highlight on the importance of Moise Caicedo. Anytime I watch this boy play, I feel like taking the legendary status from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a Manchester United legend.
Why?
That boy was offered to United for £6 million.
Oh, I remember that story.
And that was the truth of the matter. When the scouting was done, he was offered to United for... And at the time, Ole said that he's got McFred. You remember the McFred combo? McTominay and Fred. And you look at this boy today and you say, Jesus Christ. Chelsea paid over £100 million. I'm one of those who sincerely agree that they should go back and top it up. They should top Brighton with an extra 50 million. Because he's not even 24 years yet.
No, today is his 24th birthday.
There you go. So
at least a solid 6 or 7 seasons in him.
I think per his stature, he's got 12 more seasons left.
Possible.
Because
Very smallish guy.
Very smallish guy. He 6 more years to 30. Let's say 10 more years to play at that level. That is if those people in the white jersey somewhere else don't come calling. He's a South American. So when those people come calling, you have to, at this stage, I will pay any money for him. I will pay.
Is he the best in his position now?
Defensively,
I
think he's the best. Look, he's not only passing the ball well, but he's doing the basic things required of him. Intercept, block the flow of the opponent, and get your team to transit. And when he's on the ball, some people, he reminds me so much about Michael Essien. Essien breaks up the play and yet still stay very comfortable on the ball. He blocks off, he passes the ball well, he gets everybody to move in a very coordinated manner, and then it just runs through the entire Chelsea setup. I pray God he never gets injured. I don't want to see him injured because I enjoyed watching Caicedo every single moment. The only thing left, which I'm not sure he will add, is his area dominant because of how diminutive a figure he is. But look, truth be told,
I like his ball striking ability.
Look, he's a fantastic player. He strikes the ball well when you give him that chance. He hits it long, it's in the back of the net. And he makes everybody in and around him better. And Maresca will look at him every day and say, look, this is one player I cannot do without. You know my stand on such players. I like those players in the team. They are not the flamboyant one, but they'll get the job done very effectively and efficiently. And he's one of those. In his role, currently, I think he's the best in the business.
Very, very poignant there. Talk to me a bit about Spurs and, again, creativity, lack of goal scoring within, or lack of focused goal scoring, if I would put it that way. Because when the season started and Kudus and Richarlison had that, chemistry going, I thought it was going to yield a lot more. Down the line, and their goals have been scattered from various quarters. How do they solve this, and does this become a problem going forward?
Actually, they play better away from home. That's one thing that needs to be established as well. But coming up against a Chelsea team, you expected them to at least show up and not go and hide. In this game, they went into hiding. They create a lot of chances from the set pieces rather than from open play. Reason being, they don't have that mercurial player in midfield to string things together for them. They expected that from Xavi Simons. But in this game, I think he would have been better off not coming on for the injured Bergvall. He added little to nothing to the entire play. And the entirety of the time he got the ball, he was close to a touchline. That is not where you would expect a player of Xavi Simons' quality.
Stay on that Xavi Simons point for me a bit, because he is one of the most highly rated youngsters in the world. Barcelona Academy product, PSG, PSV Eindhoven, Leipzig, big money to Spurs now. He's expected to do big things. Are you worried about his adaptation? Because people say that it's not looking good so far. Is that something we need to be worried about, or you think that he's also just learning the ropes of the PL?
I think he's learning the ropes, but he's been too slow. Compared to, there are a couple of them who are learning the ropes who are very slow in that department. I would not like to mention other people's names. They come from a very similar league, but for him, it would do him a lot of good to actually begin to stamp his authority on the games that he plays in. As it stands, he was not even the first choice in that position going into this game. He had to take an injury to a player.
And ironically, Bergvall is not even a natural left winger. He's actually a central midfielder. So if your manager is playing a CF at left winger ahead of you, it's problematic.
I think the problem with him is that he's not being smart enough. I watched the game yesterday. Anytime he gets hold of the ball, he thinks he's got the quality to dance past people.
That's what he was doing in the other leagues.
And you cannot do that here.
Bundesliga, PSG.
I don't know if you come from the French league or the Bundesliga into the EPL. One thing that I believe every player needs to realize the fact that the time you have in those leagues, you don't get the same time here. So if you need time to adjust, what is the best way to adjust? Is to play it simple. There were several moments in that game yesterday where he had the ball. There was a player ahead of him. Let's go one touch. He rather want to do unnecessary. And quick, I forgot about this. I think I looked at the manager yesterday and I was a bit worried. Kudus being restricted on the right-hand side.
I've said this.
Look, yes, that is the way you want him to play. But yesterday he came across, if not the best left back in the world at the moment, one of the top 2 or top 3 left back in the world at the moment, in Cucurella. One thing that Cucurella does so well is that magnet sort of close marking to his opponent. Watch the game yesterday. He virtually forced Kudus backwards. So I thought that during the game, Thomas Strang, especially when they were chasing the game, when he brought on Johnson, he should have asked Johnson to go orthodox. Kudus was going inverted. Cucurella had dealt with it. So once you brought on a proper winger, take him right and take Kudus in. Because all the Ghanaian, in my view, was craving for yesterday is that space to operate. And anytime the ball got to him, the entire Spurs team got lively. So if you are a coach, why restrict him to a 180-10 when you could have given him the opportunity to go 360? Take him from the touchline, get him infield, so that he'll be able to turn. And we all know, if he's allowed to turn, that is where he's most dangerous. So I was looking at Thomas Strand yesterday and I said, This is, I think, the second or third
He's
time
a very rigid
I have
manager.
seen this man
actually.
this rigid.
Yep,
And,
very.
And
if he gives you instructions and you don't take them, he'll take you out to
he
the
take
game.
you out. And I was asking myself, come on, man. There has to be some flexibility with the team.
He's your most
Because
creative player.
look, you see the goal they conceded. Most people credit it to the pressing of Chelsea. But I discredit Spurs for the quality in the manner in which they tried to build for. Go and watch the sequence again. They tried building from the back. The ball got intercepted. Unfortunately for Chelsea, there was an unfortunate turnover. Back to Spurs. They repeated the same thing. Got intercepted. Turnover. Back to them. You could clearly see that there wasn't the need, or there was no room to what? Pass through the press. So go long. They did it for the third time, got dispossessed, and then they paid for it. And I think that all these are fundamental details, if you are a coach, that you cannot pinpoint as player error. The moment it becomes a team error, then you have to be looking at the man at the bench. If the team is conceding due to individual error, then you want to bet it means it has got nothing to do with the system or the tactics on the day. But the moment something happens 3-4 times within a second, and throughout the game, anytime they try building from the back, Chelsea just went into their faces and dispossessed them. And I think he should have avoided that and played something.
Chelsea have been one of the better pressing teams this season. I must say that I was really impressed with their pressing against Liverpool. Like I was mentioning yesterday, against Spurs, very impressive. And I've said this about Kudus. I like the fact that he's crossing more, getting more of his teammates involved, but it also looks to me like he's sacrificing the best attributes of his game. Now, ironically, he's restricted, like you're saying, to 180 turns and in the side, in the right-hand corner most season, but he still has more dribbles than any other player in the whole of Europe this season. He's completed more dribbles than anybody this season, even with all the restrictions placed upon him.
Another justification why those managers or his manager with those statistics at hand should have seen that. Can I move him infield? Let me move him infield.
And he can get you goals as well. Like he scored just one goal this season, and he had like 4 or 5 assists, but I think it could be better. Let's move on to Turf Moor, where Burnley Football Club were up against Arsenal, and Arsenal are on a mission to basically demotivate the rest of their title competitors. This was one of those games where they had a go at it. Let's get the highlights. So Declan Rice strutting his stuff there, headers, free kicks, long ranges. He can do it all. Fantastic player. Talk to me about Arsenal, how you feel about them following this win over Burnley. 2-0, clean sheet, 3 points. Very tidy job.
Well, this was a very good performance from Arsenal as a team. They mixed it up. They proved that they also have that whole, not only getting the goals from set pieces or corners, but also from a bit
they
of
can do open play.
Yeah, counter-attack. Going into this particular game, there were questions about they scoring from only corners. Over 60% of their goals in the EPL have come from corners, and a lot of people were complaining. But the 60% that people cry over, what is the build-up to those corners? Have teams been able to deal with it? Some teams have dealt with it. So what are the other teams doing? They are currently sleeping on the job. Because
like we saw in this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Arsenal have been doing this and doing this and doing this for the longest time possible. They keep getting the results. It is not coming from one man. It is a myriad of people who are connecting with the ball. And then 2 people are the deliverers of the ball. That is Rice and Saka. But it looks like Rice has got it right this time. He's getting the balls correct. And it's, at least if that's the reason why they bought him for 100 million, then I think.
As for Declan Rice, he has overpaid his price tag a long time ago.
But the club, the club that sold him have refused to use the money. So that's for them as well. But for Arsenal, I feel that they have proven that they are worthy to be called champions. But now the big question is, will they be able to maintain this? We have seen this kind of Arsenal before. And it happened till Christmas. And then they went, decided to go and eat some turkey and forgot how to play football. We will see what would happen to them when it gets to the turn. Luckily for them, they are not going to be having players go into AFCON, which also aids their
advantage.
case. big advantage to them. They've got squad depth and bringing in the likes of Norgard, stringing in Zubimendi when you need him, Mikel Moreno, all in that midfield part that they were actually looking for one player to replace Thomas Partey. Now they've got more than 3. It's good for them in that part of the field. And actually, Jurriën Timber, for me, is going to be their player of the season.
Interesting. Very interesting thoughts. Coach, your thoughts on Arsenal and what they are doing, looking easy at this point. That was 5 wins in a row for them.
Okay, so there are few positives here. I think the number one positive is the fact that they've put themselves in a situation where week in, week out, just a goal is more than enough. At this level, if you can win games by just a goal, it means you don't need to be required to score more than 2 or more.
Yeah.
So all they need to do is, once they are the first to score, they know the game is already wrapped up, because defensively, they are very, very solid.
Yep. Barely make any mistakes.
Very, very solid. And yesterday we saw it. Once they went 2-0 up, you could clearly see in that second half, Arteta just decided that, look, this is a perfect opportunity to perfect our defensive shape. Because there are tougher tests ahead. Let's use this guy to see how defensively we will cope off the ball movement, on the ball movement,
the dangers
transitional
from Burnley
passes.
were all from outside the box. There were shots from outside the
But
box.
in the box, Arsenal had the numbers and they dealt with it. Yesterday, for once, Gyökeres scored in the league. But again, I'm worried because that wasn't a clear chance for him.
Yeah.
It was a very, very scrappy.
Was played back
Very
into the
scrappy
box,
goal.
and then he was just in the right place at the right time.
And then he nodded it home. I believe Arteta still has the break on the team, because these guys can play far better than they are doing. My only worry is that if you don't get them to get used to the sequence of providing the chances for the strikers to score, a time will come where you have to chase the game. And because you've not been doing it regularly, you may not know how to do it. And then you may end up losing the game. They are that good defensively. It is time we begin to see them transit that. That is why I applauded the second. You remember we were doing it on the Republic of Football. When I saw their second goal, I applauded. I said, this is more like it. This is what you want to experience when you have your team playing this way and you are setting the pace and you are dominating the league and that matter. My last point is that, look, I'm a bit disappointed on the way all the teams they've played, apart from Liverpool, have defended them against the set piece. I think from the way their set piece routine has been recurring, there's something very similar
There are patterns
about
in there.
There are patterns in there. And the other coaches in the league, I look at them and I say, look, I'm being disappointed, because this league has shown over the years that when you come out doing the same thing over and again,
You'll be figured out.
You'll be figured out, and then you'll be stopped. But I'm shocked that up to now, still, Arsenal has not been figured out on their set pieces. Why do I say it so? Because I believe that of all the guys they have in the box, there's one genuine target, and that is Gabriel. He's the one, even this one, before the goal, he was the one at the end of the move.
He brought the ball back into the box.
And then Gyökeres headed it into the back of the net. And I've been asking myself, I've always said that it's a 10v10. The team going to effect the corner kick by putting the player there is a 9v10. And naturally, tactically, coaches will say, okay, that is the opposing coach. Let me leave one striker or one forward, and that draws 2 of the other players backwards. So in terms of numbers in the box of the opposition, it's a 9v7. 9v7. 9v7, there's an extra 2 men. So can't you use those 2 to manage or micromanage the rounds of Gabriel and stop him from getting to the ball first? This is something that could happen. I think, look, in the days of John Terry, the days of Nemanja Vidic, the days of these Carvalho and renowned defenders, Arsenal will not be dominating set pieces like they are doing, because these guys already have the personnel and they were accustomed to defending set pieces. But having said that, if you are an Arsenal fan, you will pray that this trend continues. But for those of us, don't get me wrong. I've tipped that they win the league.
Yeah.
They are my pick to win the league.
Yeah.
And I've said that if they don't win it, they should sack the manager.
Yeah.
Because the quality he's got, the depth he's got, I don't remember the
experience.
last time I saw a team with this depth was the Pep Guardiola team that he's phased out and built another one. And they went on to win the league.
Big points made there. Let's take our first break here on the show. When we come back, we have more games for you. Man United, Forest, Liverpool, Aston Villa, lots more here on Scorecard. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Channel 1 TV. Let me read a few messages before we move to our next batch of highlights. So this one here says that congrats to my darling club, Chelsea. That was an enthusiastic performance. In fact, Caicedo is a beast, said Dominic Kwesi Sapong from Ebuakwa Agogo. With that one. This one is from Blade. He says that FIFA needs to investigate Caicedo and Raskuku because the way these guys play without showing any signs of fatigue is surprising. It says Blues till Satan repents. I see. This one says, coach's favorite player scored the final goal for West Ham today. Suchek. Pilulu from Sunyani. This one's from Rafael Vigno from Taifa. Says, please ask coach to let Chelsea sell Caicedo to United like we gave them Garnacho. You see, you sell Caicedo to United like they gave you Garnacho. Yao Daniels from Senya Breku says, oh, Numo, the suits guy. Please tell Amorim not to ever play Dogu again because he can't cross or have the pace to track back. Looks like Dogu's been getting on some nerves lately. Let's go to that game, actually. It was at the Citi ground. It was no wins yet in the PL for Sondijk, so he was hoping to get something on the boards. For Ruben Amorim, he was looking for, I believe, his 4th successive win in the PL, but it ended in a 2-2 draw. Let's get the highlights of that game. Wow. Yesterday, two guys caught my eye. Amad Diallo from Man United, they call him the Yamoussoukro Messi. I'm sure when you saw that second goal, you probably know why. And then Callum Hudson-Odoi didn't score, but was very lively on the day. Coach, 2-2, how it ended. I don't know if there were positives for United, but definitely for Forest, a lot to look forward to.
Okay, so on the part of Man United, there were positive, but there were also some serious negatives. And if you're a Man United fan, you look at the way the game went, you should be very disappointed. Because this game should have been a 3-pointer. United should have taken every 3 points. Why do I say it so? You watch the first half, they virtually controlled the game. And then they took a very good lead through Casemiro.
Yeah.
You go for recess. You go and you listen to your coach. He tells you the things you should do and the things you do not need to do. One thing that the coach cannot control is the attitude and the concentration of the players once the game restarts. So when that second half restarted, it's like the Man United players thought that still it was recess. They conceded 2 goals in 3 minutes.
Yep. This was in the 47th, 48th minute.
From leading 1-0, hoping that all you needed to do was to stay focused for the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Forest would have gotten desperate. And out of their desperation, they will be making primary elementary mistakes. And with the quality you've got in Bumo, Matthias Cunha, Ahmad, Shesko, then you go and wrap the game up. But you concede 2 goals in 3 minutes from very similar situation. Okay, you look at the first goal, the Morgan Gibbs-White goal. I think that was clearly a mismatch on the part of Ahmad and him. But you don't blame anybody because per the back 3, back 5, Ahmad should be the one in that position. It's just that he got overpowered. So that can be allowed to go through. But on the second goal, just after conceding, rather, tactics will tell you that a team is most vulnerable after scoring, not after conceding. Because clearly, once you concede, the common notion is that there has to be a reaction. And how, after conceding, your reaction was to sit back and concede immediately. It was shocking.
It's like they were shocked by the first goal, and then before they recovered from the shock of the
they
first
were conceding another one. And the worst culprit of all of this was Diogo Dalot. I don't know what is wrong with him. He's been in this team for, look, Mourinho bought him. He played at least 2 seasons under Mourinho. After Mourinho, he coached by Solskjaer. After Solskjaer, there was Ralph Rangnick. After Rangnick, there was Ten Hag. Ten Hag, and then Ruben Amorim. At least there has to be some proper ascendancy to your performance so that we see that, oh, this guy, he's been in this team, he's one of the senior players in the team, and therefore he's improved. And per the Ruben Amorim's tax, he's one of the senior players. He's one of the leaders in the team because he's been there for a while. Rather, focus and get the job done. But having said that, one of the positives of that, if this was the United of last season, I think they would have lost this game. They would have definitely lost this game because this is what, when you start winning games, this is what you get. The moment you are used to winning, it becomes difficult to accept that you have to lose. And because they won their last 3 games, they were looking at themselves, especially in that last 10 minutes. In fact, but for a goal line clearance, they would have won it. We didn't see that in the highlight.
Actually 2 big chances.
2 big chances.
To finish the game.
After equalizing 2-2, there was a 2 goal line clearance. They could have won it. And to me, I think the positive was the fact that they managed from a losing position not to lose the game. With about 5 minutes to go, they equalized, they nearly went on to win it. Most people were talking about Casemiro needed to be substituted. No. On what I saw yesterday, I disagree. This is why I disagree.
After which point? After the 70th minute mark there?
Now, if United had stayed in the lead, then you substitute him because his legs were gone for a younger player to keep up with the intensity. But the moment Nottingham Forest went up, they dropped very deep and they gave the ball to United. And Casemiro, anytime Man United are chasing the game and the team drops off them, he's one of the best area threat. And if you watch the game yesterday, at 2-1, he nearly equalized. So I was telling people that, look, we are all learning on the game. Maybe because of my technical eye, I see things differently. But I would have kept it on. I would have kept it, and I was happy Ruben Amorim kept it on. The fact of the matter is that they go to Spurs next week, Saturday, before the international break. Spurs will be playing in Europe, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday. Get them, and the match against Spurs is a 12:30 kickoff.
Early kickoff.
Play at a certain intensity so that they'll have the effect of playing in the Champions League should be felt. And go on and win it, then you can come back after the international break and continue with the momentum.
Talk to me about Forest. So first of all, about what you make of Dyke and how far he can push this team, and then also about Callum Hudson-Odoi. I'm looking at him right now and I'm saying, young man, you're looking lively. I've been playing the AFCON. The AFCON is in December.
But we've not qualified for the AFCON.
That would have been nice. I mean, you'd have been,
we've
that would
not
have been a good
qualified.
place
Thanks
to
to Otuado and Co. We've not qualified for the AFCON. Is it? Just a bit on that. Look, Ghanaian hasn't realized how bad it is
to not have qualified for that AFCON.
That we are not in the AFCON. When the AFCON takes off, I think on the 21st, 22nd of December next month, they will see that we have no means whatsoever to assess our team before the World Cup. We just lift our team and then go and throw them at the World Cup. Who does that?
Crazy, but just brief thoughts on him and what you make of that World Cup plea, if he should be on that flight. What do you make of all of that?
Well, I'll start from
Dyke
before I get to Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's a special case. Now, for Sean Dyke, he's going back to his boyhood club. It's a very welcoming situation for him. And I feel the team is set up, or the caliber of players available is just the kind of players.
This is a Dyke team.
Solid. And in his first game against FC Porto in the Europa League, it was there. Despite the fact they scored all their goals from the penalty spot, they still got their goal and they got an elusive clean sheet. Now you build up from that and then you go and play a Bournemouth. In that Bournemouth game, they felt hard done by a very interesting officiating decision that led to an Olympico being scored against them. Now in this game, they have a similar situation in that first goal situation for Manchester United. That ball, the full circumference of the ball is believed to have not crossed the line before it was taken as a corner kick. So Sean Dyche is really angry at that, especially after all the setup that he did prior to the game, saying clickbait and all these kind of things in the press conference.
He's a very interesting guy.
Going at Amorim, both of them having a very nice showdown in their own press conferences. But I feel that some of the defensive frailties of the team, he has still not found a way to deal with them. Prior to joining this team, Forest were conceding from set pieces at will. He has joined them. It's still happening. And he is one person who starts or literally builds his entire philosophy on defense. He needs to sort that out. Now for Callum. Callum is a player that would flourish under Sean Dyche because he loves to allow runners carry the ball. After you get the second ball, let's run with it and let's see what we can create.
Likes counter-attacking players.
Solid guy. He's going to flourish in this team. Now there are going to be calls for him to try and get into the England national team. I believe the bus for the Black Stars left long ago for him. Yes. I strongly feel that the bus for him left long ago because is he better than anyone in that position inside the Black Stars now? That becomes the big question for him. Once he's not better than anyone in that current position,
can still go and still be a backup.
Then if we are going to go and look for backups, then let's look in the GPL and carry people from there.
As for the GPL,
you took your team to the African, what do you call it? The Conf Cup and the Champions League. We were embarrassed 7-0 and
you see when they take the GPL players, they don't even play them.
They don't even play them.
Guys, Richmond Lamptey.
They just took him, sat in the stands throughout in Qatar. As for Hudson-Odoi, he's called Odoi. He's not Odoi. Look, I think if he continues like this, first and foremost, let him change his nationality. I'm waiting to hear that.
Yeah, he has made the switch.
Until the switch is done, I don't want to even discuss him any longer. Because if you really want to play for
because he's been in and out around this conversation for a long time.
Let him do the switch. Once the switch is done, he's Ghanaian. If he's good enough, we take him to the World Cup.
Fair. Let's move it on and go to Anfield, where trouble has been brewing lately. And a Slot determined to do something about it because they were dumped out of the Carabao Cup in midweek, and so they had to do something about it. This time, it was against Unai Emery's Aston Villa. His younger brother is in the studio, but let's get the highlights of this one. We'll come back and discuss. So Gravenberch returns from injury, gets on the score sheet. Liverpool win by 2-0. Very strange, coach. Liverpool managed a clean sheet. Very strange. Might be the first or second clean sheet this season.
I don't know.
League. I'll check for you right now.
I really don't know what Villa came to do in this game. Because to be honest with you, they virtually made everything
easy.
Very easy for Liverpool. For a team struggling like that, and of late, Villa's form has been on the ascendancy.
Yep. This was a very surprising result to me.
To be honest with you, it is at Anfield. Liverpool is expected to win, but not in this manner. Because I believe that if the Villa I saw against Man City had showed up, there wasn't even one highlight for them.
They barely created anything meaningful in the game.
I was asking myself, what? Is this the team that handled Man City last week? Are the boys focused on the job? Or already, because Liverpool were hurting, they knew that these guys were overly angry, so whatever we do, they will beat us. Let them work for it. And then on the Mohamed Salah's goal, I don't know what sort of build-up from the back was that. The Villa goalkeeper, very experienced. Martinez. very, very experienced. Should he have given the ball, attempt to give the ball? I think he should have gone wide on the opposite because there was a player who had opened up and he was facing that side. He ignored him and gave the ball to Salah. That wasn't a pass to the defender. It was a simple giveaway. And I've always said, if you are this sloppy, if you are this very irresponsible, it's better you get punished. And I was happy Mo punished him. Then I thought that they will now take the steam out of the game and go back to the basics and play and try and create something. It's Van Dijk and Konate. Of late, we know them.
Yep.
They've
Their
established
confidence is down. They're all over the place.
So attack them.
Yeah.
There's Watkins, Villa too has got some good, decent attacking players. And what's the name of that English boy? Rogers. Yeah. I didn't see anything of him. Yeah. And I don't know,
maybe he had like one attempt. I think that clipped the bar or was close like that.
But his natural drive through the middle with the ball was not utilized at all. And the slot will look at this. He needed this because he's going to a very, very difficult week.
Yep.
Yeah. He plays.
There's Real Madrid up next.
Yes, and then it's Man City over the weekend. He needed this. If they can get a result against Real Madrid, it prepares them for Man City.
Yeah.
But if they don't get any result against Real Madrid, another defeat to City, and that dressing room, the people at the top, they will be looking at him.
Yeah, because they've already put, so he was scheduled for contract negotiation talks. They've put those on hold.
That's right.
And so it will be very interesting how things play. But what have you made of the Liverpool situation all in all? Can they get out of it? Was this just a minor respite? I mean, has anything changed at all?
Well, for Liverpool, I would say in this game, they learned and changed certain things that got them the win. If not so, I feel Aston Villa would have gotten the win. It's just that Aston Villa came into the game with one trick, they got figured out, and they were lost. I am really shocked at their performance yesterday. But for Liverpool, all they can do is think that resting their stars midweek actually contributed to this. But I beg to differ. The problems in the team still exist in the team, but now have been polished because certain players have made a comeback into the team. Players like Ryan Gravenberch, they would say, missed out through injury, hence they were conceding goals.
So he's missed only one game. He played in a United game.
Exactly.
Only one game.
But he's been part of the mess.
He actually is part of the mess, and he's one of the reasons why they are failing to see the major reason they keep conceding goals. That middle part of the pitch for them. Once he plays, he makes it look like he can play 3 rows at a time. But that would constantly keep him close to the physio's bench than the first team if he continues that way. There are certain things in this Liverpool team that they need to click into gear. First things first. I admire what Slot tried to do. He tried to go back to the basics. You brought in Andy Robertson, no problem. You brought in Bradley. You decided to keep your touchline hugging new players on the bench and some of them in the physio's room. Solid. That is where you build it from. Now you get into the midfield and then you still have your 3 playing there. Then it becomes the question of fitting your most expensive buys in the team. That is where I feel he's pressured and doesn't really know what to do. For Florian Wirtz, I don't think he's ready mentally to play in the EPL. I have watched his off-the-ball movement and how he keeps getting in the way of his other players, and I'm shocked. For a player like that, and you would think that coming into this league, he would at least walk into that team and, like Coach says, keep it simple. But that is one thing that is far from the name Florian Wirtz at the moment. Keeping it simple. He wants to do the most and actually be counted.
Well, he's feeling the pressure of the price tag. A lot of people say you need to assist, you need to score goals. So when he gets on the ball, he needs to make people feel like, yeah, I'm the 100 million guy you bought.
But if you are the 100 million guy and you are not constantly getting into positions where you can either give an assist or actually score, what do? You do the pre-assist.
Yeah.
At least try that so that when goals are scored, instead of them going to the person who gave the assist, they'll come to you who gave the pre-assist and then come and jubilate with you.
Boost his confidence.
Yes, but for Schlott, he's really struggling with the expensive silverware players that he bought, and he's struggling to fit them into an already made championship winning team. That is his major problem, and I don't think he has figured it out yet.
Big problems for Liverpool. They won this weekend and they kept a clean sheet. Just their third clean sheet actually of the season. So hopefully they can build on that. Let's take our second break here on the show. When we come back, we still have highlights from Manchester City. We have stuff from Real Madrid and the Bundesliga as well as the Serie A. So stay with us. More highlights to come on Scorecard. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Channel 1 TV. Let's do more highlights. This time, Manchester City are involved. AFC Bournemouth has been red hot coming up into this particular game week. Manchester City have been lukewarm by their own high standards, but in this game, they stamped their authority and got all 3 points. Let's get the highlights. This guy gets used at right back a couple of times or left back a couple of times. Nico O'Reilly got in the goal scoring action. Coach, let me get you on that particular one. 3-1 looked like a game Bournemouth could have probably done damage at the beginning. Manchester City responded well, took charge of the game, and then they were out of sight.
Look, so we were on the Republic of Football and we're doing the game, and I was like, for the first 15 minutes, I told myself that, whoa, this is going to be interesting. Because Bournemouth came into the game, they showed no fear whatsoever. They were so determined to go toe-to-toe with Man City. In fact, they were fine until a defender decided to go to sleep. What's the name of it? The black guy at the back. Is it Diakite or something?
Yeah, Diakite. Senesi and Diakite.
He followed Haaland into the half of Man City, trying to close him down. You clap for, but after closing him down, you don't stay there when the one you went to close down had moved away from you. Fundamentally, you should know that you have vacated your role, and you find yourself in an area where logically you shouldn't be, tactically you shouldn't be. So the moment you got the sequence that took you there stopped, you needed to retreat. He stayed there. He stayed there. The first pass, he was there. The second pass, he was still there. It was the third pass, then he realized that he's vacated the position. But look at the header from the French international, Cherki. He saw the gap, and he just headed the ball into space. And Haaland, with his long legs,
So athletic.
look, he gallops and runs at the same time.
Doesn't look like he's going too fast, but he's really
already
moving.
going very, very fast.
Yeah.
Currently, as we speak in world football, maybe Harry Kane will have something to say about this. But in terms of finishing, in my view, this is the best in the business. You present the chance,
He will score.
he will score.
3 chances, 2 in the back of the net.
Proper 18. Look, he will score.
Yeah.
Look at the second goal. Look at how, look, if you're a young striker and you're watching, these are the things you should. His first touch, his second touch took him across the defender. You touch him, there's a red card. So you saw the defender do this.
Backing off.
Please have your way. Eventually he did this. Eventually you can have your way.
Yeah.
And then he went past the goalkeeper, solid goal. This is a player who from day one has never looked back. His quality, his contribution has never been in doubt. All the players in and around him are aware that all we need to do
Is feed him.
is feed him. He puts it away. I have said something which I'll continue. There were times last season, remember, where he got injured and they missed him, and that completely took them out of the race for the title. I hope, like I said for Caicedo, he never gets injured. Because the game of football needs players like this. Week in, week out, I think I am blessed if I had the chance to watch him like this. Because if you are a coach, these are the sort of things you want to see and use it to coach the young ones who are coming up. But Man City themselves will have to be very careful. Because I think Pep will have to do things to protect him. But the question is, because he's there, he's over 70% their way to go. You don't plug him out of the chemistry.
Would you buy another striker to complement Mamouche as they have?
He has to. Because, I mean, we saw Pep at a point in time. He had Aguero.
Yeah.
He had Gabriel Jesus. He had the Argentine boy, the one who's gone to Alvarez. Okay? He had these three. So I'm looking at a situation where Mamouche himself is not an out-and-out striker.
Yeah.
I think he's a better player as a number 10 or as any of the winger left cutting onto his right where he can strike the ball with some form of venom. So I would look at Pep Guardiola and say, look, in building this new Manchester City team, he needs another number 9. And I'm very sure that he has told the people that he needs another, but he will not just go and buy any other number 9. He wants the number 9 who fits into what Erling Haaland is doing. Maybe very different from the style of Haaland, but will complement the chemistry of the team. And I think, look, they are second now. If they are looking like the team to hold on to Arsenal a bit. Because Arsenal, how many points? 5 points, 6 points lead.
I'll just check that for you.
And somebody will have to, because that's week number 10.
Yeah.
There are 28 more games to be played.
6-point lead.
6-point lead. We're playing 38. We've played 10. 28 more to go. So I think 6 points, he will look at it and say, come on, it's just 6 points. If they can put together some decent run, they'll challenge Arsenal.
Let's get into back-to-back highlights mode. Let's get to that West Ham versus Newcastle game, and then we will do Fulham versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, and then we'll come back in studio and discuss. So let's get to that West Ham game first. Let me start off with you. Nuno gets in his first win as West Ham United manager. Very difficult game to get a win in as your first manager too.
Well, very difficult game, but if you look at the circumstances for both teams, you would then say it favors the home team a little more. Have it in mind that Newcastle have been terrible on the road.
Yeah.
They have not won anything on the road. Their best has been draws. Aside that, if they don't draw, they lose. Now, going up against the West Ham team who are hungry for a win, who literally do not have players, they are looking for players to come and play in the team for them.
Yeah.
At home, they've taken the entire week to prepare for this game. They were as blunt as possible, but only took their opportunities when it came their way.
Yeah.
And managed to have luck also on their side, and it's counted for them. For Nuno, it's work in progress. This now gives him some more breathing space. At least you've beaten a Champions League team at home in this your current form. That should be a feather in your cap. Now you need to build up on that. You play at home again next weekend. You have a full week to prepare. What are you going to do? Looking at your squad and looking at how light it is, you need to bring up a certain formula that would help you win. The way they played today, if they play any, unfortunately I have to use this word, if they play any serious-minded away team at their home grounds in this manner, they'll lose. If they play any serious-minded away team, a good traveling side, they would lose. Newcastle are just
not a good traveling side.
They are not.
And it's true because, in fact, at a point this season, all their goals had come at home. They had not scored a single goal away from home. So it's been a very worrying pattern for them. I don't know if that type of stuff worries you, but you've always highlighted that they are literally day and night between when they play at home and when they play away from home. But I worry about them a little. I feel like with the kind of investments behind them, they are not making the type of progress I expected by now.
I think it's the manager and the sort of players he's bought. Look, at a point in time today, once West Ham took the lead, it was 2-1, and they dropped very deep. It became virtually like a low press. Newcastle had a lot of men in the half of West Ham, but none of them technically good. None of them can get or could get on the ball and dance past even one player.
I see Maxima went to the Saudi League and they've not had anybody to replace him.
Exactly.
Harvey
Barnes and those
Anthony
guys,
Gordon.
Elanga and Gordon, they thrive when there is a space.
They need to run.
So Nuno tactically, after taking the lead, just dropped off, got everybody in the ball, and it was a two banks of 5. One 1-2, 5 at the back, 5 in front. That gave West Ham the width needed to counter on to make sure that when Newcastle went wide, they had the defensive line cover. You beat one person, there's another person behind the back. Now Newcastle needed to have some tech. So I was asking myself, Eddie Howe, he spent some good money.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's no technician through the middle. Joelinton, Gumares, Tonali, these are hard tacklers.
Yeah.
They are the sort of players who will win the ball and just pass. They can't dribble past one
Can't
person.
stand on the ball and dictate
And
tempo.
I will not accept the situation where in the best league in the world, a team don't have some form of decent creativity of technician through the middle. It's unacceptable. But I think that is the reason why they are struggling. I just want to say this on West Ham. This West Ham team will never win any proper game if they are to chase the game. Because from what I saw of them today, they could do what they did, and that made them better because they were in the lead and they had to cut down the spaces or restrict the spaces in between them so they could defend. Imagine they were the one chasing the game. They are bad on the recovery. Look at the third goal. Look at where Schuchek was running from. Look at how long it took him. Look at how long it took him to get to the... Eventually, he had to just throw himself and dive into the tackle to put the ball behind the net. Overly reliant on Paquetá. If Paquetá and Bowen don't play,
nothing happens.
Look, I think in January, they have to go and buy some players.
Quick thoughts on Fulham before we move on to La Liga. They won by 3-0. Wolves are looking in like
they've sacked the manager.
Dire form. Manager gone. That's crazy. They just gave him an extension.
Apparently, there is a clause in the contract that gives them room to sack him without paying all the money. That's what I just...
Looks decent. I'm sure he work out with something small. They get to not pay too much compensation.
But look, I'll be over the moon if any manager were to work in there and made them a better team. The quality of the players they've got, very, very bad. Look at that defender. Look at the defender.
That's what I'm saying.
He's big.
You were talking about the Portuguese influence. I mean, look, a few years ago, they had Semedo doing his thing. I remember they brought in when Jimenez was in peak form.
He was there.
They had Pablo Sarabia.
There was this veteran Portugal midfielder,
João Moutinho. They had Moutinho. They had even Fabio Silva.
They had Neto.
Pedro Neto, Ruben Neves. They had quite some quality in there with the Portuguese. They've all phased out.
They've sold all these guys for big money.
Exactly. And they didn't replace them. Bellegarde, Agbadu, Gomez.
Last season they had this guy, their captain. He's now playing for Osimhen's team.
He's going to Galatasaray.
Lemina.
He's taking
players.
the
They've all gone. So I don't know. I think they've done some bad business, and I think that they deserve the position in which they are in.
I think they're going to get relegated. Nothing will save them.
They look like they are in a very dire situation as things stand now. I'm just happy for Marco Silva, though. He has had his own troubles. But let's get to Spain, and let's start off with Real Madrid this time. They followed up their Clásico victory over Barcelona with another win, this time over Valencia Football Club. Dominant win it was as well. Let's get the highlights. Look at that goal. That Carreras?
Former Manchester United academy player. You see him play like this. I don't know why Man United turned down the opportunity to bring him back, because they had the first refusal
from Benfica.
And then you see, look at what Dogu is doing there.
He's like thrice the player Dogu.
10 times better than Dogu.
But it's because of Dogu they did not bring him back.
That was the shocking thing.
That's what he's saying.
That was the shocking. Who were those people? Wilcox, Amorim and Co. You look at this boy, look at Dogu and say this Dogu should come and play.
You know the truth about Carreras is that his real good season came in the last campaign before this one.
Yes,
before
Benfica.
that, he only had like glimpses. I don't think anybody was too sure about him. And then he exploded at Benfica last season.
And all United needed the first choice. I think you sold him for like 7 million. First choice, you bring him back for 14 million. 14 million.
That's
money.
peanuts.
You rather go and pay 20 million, 24 million for Dogu. Oh, Charlie.
You mentioned the name like that when you said Dogu. Let me do more highlights. Let's do Barcelona this time. They were up against Elche, and then I'll let Serie have a bite on that. Let's get the highlights of that game. So back to winning ways for Barcelona. It looked like they're enjoying their football again. This was a more fluid performance compared to the Clásico.
Comparing it to the Clásico, yes, it was a much better performance from them. However, they are still going to be missing the services of, for me, the best player in the team. Please, it's not Yamal for me. I'm sorry. Pedri. They are going to be missing his services. In as much as he got that red card to make him sit out a couple of games, he then went on to get injured as well. So they're going to be missing his services in much tougher games. But this is much...
How long is he out for?
Mentioning 3 to 4 weeks, or even maybe goes into months. Because we know Pedri. Yeah. We know him as a player.
Barca have a thing for rushing.
He's played too many football.
They have a thing for rushing those guys back. Pedri, Gavi. Whenever they get injured, it's almost like they're in a hurry to bring them back.
Even
Yamal.
Yamal.
I was about to say the same thing. I don't know why. These things aggravate injuries. I'm sure it's one of the reasons why Rafinha is still out, if I remember correctly.
He didn't take
so Barca are dealing with quite a number of injuries to key players within the setup. Let's do one more highlight, and then we will take the show home. Let's go to the Bundesliga. Let's watch Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen. It was a big win for Bayern Munich, and then we'll come back in studio and discuss. Final thoughts. Nicolas Jackson on the score sheet for Bayern. Chelsea could use him.
Happy to see him score because he knows that he's not going to bench Harry Kane, and from the system, Harry Kane is always the number one. But Assad, when he's given the chance, you want to see him do this.
Well, there'll be silverware at the end of it as well, so probably very rewarding. Thank you very much, Coach. Thank you very much, Serie. Thank you guys for making time to watch the show, and also for making time to text into the show. Same time next week, Scorecard will be back on your screens.